Hey guys, so it's December 5th. As if you guys are following me, you know that I want to get back into making YouTube videos, so I thought it would be a good idea to start with a Q&A. I posted a picture probably a week ago on Instagram and Facebook and asked for people to comment below, so I'm going to answer your questions. I apologize for the bad video quality. I am going to get a good quality camera, but right now I'm just using my laptop. I don't have much room on my phone because I take so many selfies, but this will do for now, and I promise the quality will get better. And I'm going to start doing some stuff in the gym and just some sort of lifestyle videos, so there'll be lots to come in 2017, but I didn't want to wait anymore, so I figured I'd film this now. So I just got back from Winnipeg. I spent the weekend with my Freak Fitness family, and it was amazing. It's kind of hard to describe the energy that was there, but it was definitely much needed. For those of you who don't know, I competed 3 weeks ago. I won the figure overall title at the East Coast Classic, so I had to requalify for provincials because it's been 3 years since I competed. So that was awesome, but I've definitely been dealing with like the post-show blues a little bit. I do have a prep coming up very, very soon. Actually, I'm pretty much in prep now. I told myself Monday today, even though I'm kind of in like a transition phase of my diet and my training, but I'm just going to follow everything to a T, and it's go time. But anyways, it was a really great weekend. I got to finally meet Darren, my amazing trainer, and Christina, and the rest of the team, and we got some really intense training in. I learned a ton, and it was just great being around such like-minded people who just get it. So I'm a little bit tired. I didn't get a lot of sleep all weekend, but I'm feeling great regardless. I'm just very, very motivated now. So anyways, we will get to the questions. I thought I would switch my laptop around for a bit of better lighting because there's a window here and you can see everything a little better because it's bad quality as is. But anyways, I've got a few questions here, so we'll just get right into it. So the first one is, how do you feel about the industry now as opposed to your emotional farewell post a few years ago? So yeah, a few years ago, like after I did provincials, I was kind of trying to get ready for provincials again because I had missed it on nationals. Or I think I wanted to win. I really wanted to win the overall title at provincials. But anyways, I was just having a really difficult time dieting, and I had quite a few negative experiences in the industry. So I still stand by some of what I said. I think it still applies. There's a lot of people that are extremely fake on social media. Obviously, Instagram, for example, it's the highlight reel of your life, but I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that I'm always totally motivated to train and, I love all aspects of prep. Like, I do love prep and I love training, but there are days when it's really difficult, when you're in a calorie deficit, you're doing a lot of cardio, and you're just fucking tired. The difference is that, I will go because I'm dedicated, but I'm not always motivated. It just, so there's that. And then, people lying about being natural or not natural. It's obviously such a controversial subject, and I have a question here later about that. But those types of things. And then, I don't know, I think my outlook is just a little different because I've learned that you just need to surround yourself with the right people, because there's always, in any industry, there's always going to be those negative people or negative aspects. But if you find the right people to surround yourself with, it makes it a lot better. Now I'm training with Darren Melling of Freak Fitness, and he's phenomenal. He's always there for me. He has my best interests at heart. He's an amazing, intelligent trainer, and he just knows his shit. And the team is great. The athletes are all amazing. They all inspire me, and they're just great people. So being surrounded by that makes a big difference. I left Winnipeg this weekend feeling motivated and stoked for this prep, and I left feeling so great because I was around such awesome people. But then there's others that kind of just drag your energy down, and you can tell that they're not genuine and whatever. So I think that's where things differ, is just learning to be a little bit more choosy of who I give my time to, who I spend my time with, because there's always going to be the people that are kind of fake and stuff like that. So I think I also used to talk about how it's like an unhealthy sport, and I still kind of stand by that, but over the last year or so, I've learned that there's much healthier ways to do things. So, for example, like this prep was a lot healthier for me. The end was difficult, and like I said, peak week's never really going to be healthy, but I was doing way less cardio in the beginning and throughout the bulk of it than I did last time, and it increased a lot at the end because I'm just someone who doesn't get lean easily, but I wasn't suffering for 3 months doing like an hour and a half cardio for 3 months straight, and I did a longer prep. Actually, I think it was about the same amount of time, but I did a long prep, and we had lots of time, so I didn't have to do anything crazy extreme. And my off season was good. I think I was eating a good amount of calories, which I kind of did last off season, but I just feel like it was healthier this year, and it will continue to be when I'm done competing. I want to stay relatively lean, but I will be reverse dieting and increasing my calories so that when I do diet for a show again, I am starting in a good spot where I can slowly decrease my calories and slowly add in cardio and still see results. So that's just me personally. But yeah, I think there's definitely a healthier way of going about things, a right and a wrong way. So as far as that goes, it can be done. I think some people still do take really unhealthy approaches and, unhealthy extremes in the sport, but it is what it is, and everyone's going to do their own thing. So it just kind of, again, comes back to like bad advice or bad coaching or whatever. So it's still out there, but if you are smart and hire the right trainer, then you should be able to do it in a way more healthy way. So the next question is, what are your goals now and how have they evolved? So as far as my competitive goals go, my current big goal right now, I guess, is provincials. So when I signed up with Darren, the main goal was to get to provincials and place a certain way. I don't want to jinx myself, but I do have a certain placing in mind. But I just did regionals and won the overall for that, and now we're at provincials. So that'll be in April. As far as other fitness goals, obviously, I want to get to nationals within the next year or two. And the biggest goal is to obtain my pro card. But apart from competing, I also would love to venture into fitness modeling, do something like that. And I don't know, there's lots of opportunities. So I just want to be as successful as I can. So there's that. And then outside of competing, I am doing a makeup course in January. So I'm excited to also get into that industry, and I can kind of combine it with fitness industry, doing shows or doing makeup for shows, and we'll see what happens. But I don't know if my goals have changed a ton. For a while, I just didn't want to have anything to do with competing. So obviously those goals are back, but I've always wanted to obtain my pro card. I think everybody does, but yeah, they haven't changed a ton. I guess as far as like physique goals, they're not even that different. I just want to keep making improvements and be the best that I can. It's funny though, because, in 2013 when I competed, I did gain a lot of muscle from the year before, but I thought I was like super jacked. And then you look at comparison pictures from then to this year, and I put on a lot of size, which I needed. So I don't know. I guess as far as that goes, I just want to add a little bit more size all over and bring it in. Sorry, I'm tired. I haven't had much sleep in the last few days, but bring it in a little bit leaner to my next show. And I'd like to maintain a leaner off-season physique. So yeah, that'll be one of the biggest challenges, just because I'm someone who holds a lot of water easily, and I don't rebound pretty, so I got to be very careful, but that is also a goal. Okay, so the next question is, who are your idols? I think idol is a very strong word, but there's definitely people that I look up to in this industry and look to for guidance. I definitely wouldn't say idol, but Darren is, amazing. He's a mentor. He's someone I look up to. He's always there for me. And like I said before, I just can't say enough good things about him. But he's someone that I really respect and have a lot of admiration for, him and Christina. I both trust them a lot. So they're up there for sure. All of the girls on our team, I definitely admire them. They all have their own story, and they're very, very hardworking. So they're great. Like, I met Azaria Gleam this weekend. She's 23, so she's around my age. She's pro, and she's so goal oriented and focused on what she wants. So she has a great mindset, and she's definitely someone I look up to. So it was really great to meet her and to be able to train with her and stuff. So as far as like other people, like fit or figure pros and stuff, like everyone loves her, but I love Nicole Wilkins' physique. That's just the classic figure look. I love Candice Keen's look, and I mean, there's so many phenomenal athletes now. Like, the caliber is so high. So I think there's bits and pieces that I like from everybody, but I think those are the top two. And I've also, like, one of the first figure girls that kind of inspired me, or that I kind of strived to be like, was Ava Cowan. I really liked her physique. I don't know what she's doing now, if she's still competing, but I always liked her physique a lot. And I almost forgot to mention Janelle Sampson. She's local here. She just turned pro this year at the Canadian Nationals, and she's always been there for me. She's been a huge mentor in the sport, and she helped with my posing this year and stuff, but she helped train me back in the day too. So when I first got into it and stuff, so to see her progress over the years, she's made crazy changes to her physique, and she's always there for me when I need it. So she's someone I look up to too. But yeah, so I think that pretty much covers it. Next question is, what is your biggest fear and why? So I don't really have any like crazy fears like spiders or like anything like that. I'd say probably walking on stage and feeling like I didn't give all I could. I mean, this is a very subjective sport, and you never know what the judges are going to go for. It always depends who shows up that day, yada, yada, yada. But, and of course, like, everybody wants a top placing. But if I were to walk on stage and feel like I didn't give everything I could in that prep, or, you know, in my off season too, that's probably my biggest fear. I just want to feel like I didn't leave anything on the table. I did everything I possibly could. And yeah, I think that's my biggest fear. That's a really shitty feeling. I didn't really feel like that this show, and it was amazing. It was an amazing win. It felt great, but I think there's definitely some things I can like improve on. There always is, but like my intensity in my workouts, especially after this weekend, we were put through a conditioning camp, and I was like, okay, yeah, my intensity needs to go way up, like all the time. And there's no excuse, because I know I can do it. So, yeah, I guess just feeling like you kind of half-ass things. That's my biggest fear. I don't want, but that goes for anything in life. If I'm really passionate about something or have a goal, I don't want to ever feel like I left anything on the table. I just want to know that I gave it my all. I feel like that's such a like cheesy answer, but it's true. And I don't have any like fears like spiders or blood or anything like that. So last question is a little more sensitive, but I will answer. Do you have an opinion on if there is a line on what sorts of drugs or supplements are okay and what aren't? So I will start off with supplements, I guess. So as far as supplements go, like ones that you can buy at like Popeyes or GNC, whatever, the generalized answer, fill your boots. I don't think there's a lot of stuff out there that will hurt you, but always do your research before you put anything in your body. There are certain situations where you might not want to take something like, for example, I have hypothyroidism caused by Hashimoto's, an autoimmune disease, and I don't know exactly what they are now. I have a bad memory, but I know there's certain supplements that might aggravate it or worsen it, and will work against me. So you want to do your research, and like, for example, you never want to take ephedrine and vasodilator together at the same time, because ephedrine constricts your blood vessels while vasodilators open them up. So someone with a pre-existing heart condition, or just anyone you might not know you have issues with your heart or whatever, if you take them at the same time, you could have heart palpitations, you could have a heart attack. And obviously that's pretty rare, but you still want to be wary of that kind of stuff and just do your research. Or another example, it's not so much like a concern like that, but if you, like me, I take Synthroid for my thyroid, but if you're taking certain medication, you want to make sure that you're not taking it at the same time as your multivitamin, because you might not absorb it properly. Usually it'll say that on like the medication label, but sometimes people forget. So those kind of things, yeah. I think that some supplements are a total waste of money, but a lot of stuff is beneficial. You know, like I always, like my top 5 will say fish oils, probiotics, multivitamin, greens, and let's say protein powder. I think those are all great. There's other ones that I think are super beneficial, like creatine. For females, DIM is great, but I could go on and on. But anyways, I think there are a lot of beneficial supplements out there. Just depends what you want to spend your money on. As far as PEDs and drugs like that go, I think there's definitely a line, but it's very difficult to generalize when it comes to that, because it's very situational and it's always a personal choice. So, you know, first and foremost, like I said, just know what you're putting in your body, know what risks come along with that drug, research what the appropriate dose is. Again, it's not really safe at all, but there's definitely a more appropriate dose, you know, depending what your goal is, and if you're female or male, because things differ so much. And if you're going to hire a trainer, make sure they have experience and they know their shit and that sort of thing. So it really depends. You know, you can't compare like a bikini competitor to a female bodybuilder, because it's totally different looks. It's like not very little muscle, but comparatively speaking, very little muscle compared to a ton of muscle. And, you know, the leanness and the hardness is totally different. So it really depends what your goal is and what you're comfortable with, what risks you're comfortable with. But I think there's definitely situations where there is a line crossed. Like, for example, I've seen plans around here where trainers have their novice bikini competitors on T3. I mean, T3 is a bit of a touchy subject for me, because I've got a thyroid issue and I hate seeing somebody like inflict that on themselves when they don't have to. So like in those situations, it's like, you don't need T3, you just need to diet, do your cardio, and train hard. And if your metabolism's shit, work on that before you compete, you know, reverse diet and get yourself to a healthy maintenance, or your caloric maintenance level, whatever you want to call it, and then go from there. Because the sprint, everyone says it, but it's a marathon, not the sport. Oh my God, I can't even speak. The sport is a marathon, not a sprint. I'm so tired. I can't articulate what I'm trying to say. Anyways, yeah, so it's just certain things. It's like, you just shake your head. You're like, why are you doing this? And I've seen other girls around here who have transitioned from like bikini to physique or bodybuilding, and, you know, they've taken it pretty far with drugs, and they regret it later on. So you just got to think really carefully before you put something in your body, and know that there is always a risk involved. But yeah, there's definitely, I've seen some bad horror stories. And as females, you got to know that you're not going to be, an appropriate dose of some sort of compound isn't going to be the same as a male, because we react completely different. So you got to keep that in mind. And then some compounds you just should never touch, depending what you're comfortable with. You know, if you don't want virilization side effects, you don't want to look or develop like male characteristics, there's certain things you should never touch, and certain doses you should never fuck with. So yeah, it's definitely a very personal choice. but do your research and think hard about it. I saw a video from, I forget exactly what his name was, Seth something. He's an IFBB pro, and he said the same, he talked about this. He said the same kind of thing. Like, when you put something in your body, you're altering what's going on inside. So he's like, his question, or he got asked, when's a good time to take steroids? He said, never. It's never a good time, which I agree with. It never really is. It's just, you got to weigh the pros and cons and look at your goals and what you want and da-da-da-da. But yeah, I don't want to get too into it just because it is a very controversial subject. And I really don't want to start a debate, but there are definitely, I've seen a lot of people do things that they regret later on, and they're just not smart about it. So be smart, educate yourself and read up on stuff before you do it, because some things you can't change, you'll never change back, and you're stuck with it for life. So just be aware of that. But anyways, that's enough of that. That's it for questions. If you guys have any other ones, post below, or Instagram or Facebook, whatever. I'm always checking, so I'll see. And if you have any ideas or kind of requests for videos that you'd like to see in the future, let me know. 2017 is going to be an awesome year, and I'm definitely going to get lots of content out, but I didn't want to wait any longer, so I thought I would do this now. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys later.